guys, and welcome back. I'm kind of looking forward to this because for years I've wanted to do podcasts, but I watch different kinds, but I've never been able to do it myself. And today's my first time of being able to do a podcast. I'm planning on doing 3 different subjects at the moment, and one is Playful Prattle, where we talk about games, gaming, things like that. Another one is, because I love the paranormal and ghosts, I really like talking about them, so I thought I've got to do a paranormal one. So I'm thinking of doing that as well and calling that ghostly gossip. And the third subject is about tattoos, which is something else that I really like, I have an interest in. I'm a collector, so and that one I'm calling Tattoo Talk. And of course, you might have guessed, I love games. I'm a gamer, I play games, so obviously I want to talk about games as well. And I'm happy to say that my first ever guest who wants to talk with me for my very first podcast, my very first episode, is Brendan. And I'm really, he also plays games, he's a gamer, so of course he wanted to talk about games with me, and I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, see how this goes. Yeah, so I asked you before, do you play games? So you said you play games, didn't you?
Yeah, very much so. Oh jeez. Well, short answer is yes. All kinds really, like, and over the years sort of dabbled between a couple of mingling between PC and console and handheld and all the fun stuff, and now try not to play too much on the mobile just because there's better ones out there, but God, it's convenient.
It is, especially when you're out and about and you're bored, so you just pull your phone out and you've just got games there. It keeps you entertained if you've got nothing else to do.
Yeah, very much so, and it's sometimes a bad distraction from work. It's definitely way too easy to procrastinate and just accidentally, I should say, just pull out your phone and just start playing something, whatever the latest addictive thing that you found on the Play Store or the iStore, whatever it is.
Yeah, your manager or boss walks in and you're like, put it down. Yeah, I'm totally working, I swear.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for an email response.
What are you doing looking at your crotch? Nothing, I swear. To hide down there. So, for the next one is, do you play it often? I'm guessing, or do you play games often?
Yeah, well, more often than not. Most evenings, yeah. Will, and I've got my, as we're just sort of saying, the guilty pleasures sort of during the day, just sort of to keep me sane. But yeah, most nights playing something, whether it's just one of my main staple at the moment, Final Fantasy 14, just the MMO. I've been playing that for, oh Jesus, don't even care to think of how long I've been spending playing that. But that's usually my my nightly habit, at least for the while. At least recently with the latest expansion being released. But yeah, most nights and weekends.
That's it.
Much to my partner's annoyance.
So it's something to do with it. It helps you relax.
Yeah, very much so.
Get out of real world troubles.
Yep, that's it. Can't get in trouble if you don't leave the house.
That's one way to do it. So when did you start playing games?
Oh,
it's going back now.
What a loaded question. Yeah, what a loaded question. Jeez. Well, outside of, like, I guess the first memories I really have. Now I'm good, I think. So I know this is coming up, but I think my first memory of really playing games solidly was, it's either going to be Pokemon on like Game Boy, or something on PlayStation. Actually, no. Now I'm just trying to think. Like, Yeah, something probably around there. Like, PlayStation was the first console that I got as a lad. But yeah, I'm trying to remember if I got a Game Boy before that. I'm sure I could do some googling and find out when certain things were released, but I'm too lazy to do that right at this moment.
Oh,
But no, it's been a while, so yeah, it's been dare I say quite a significant um, portion of my life.
well, that's what they're there for. If it's brought you happiness and entertainment, it's done its job.
Yeah, very much so. Definitely helped form the psyche that I currently use.
So I'm similar to you. My first console was actually a Game Boy, but I used to use my brothers, and they had a Dreamcast. Then they got PlayStation. Then I got the Game Boy.
Yep.
So yeah, same.
The hand-me-down, yep.
Well, no, it was his. I just used to use it with him. So
Fair enough. Yeah.
I missed the Dreamcast. That was such a good console.
I do. I never had the Dreamcast, but some other kids down the street did, and I remember playing it. And you just think at the time, you're like, "Well, these graphics are crazy." And
Yeah.
then you look back and you're like, "My God, what was I thinking?"
We're spoiled now.
Oh yeah, way too much.
Yeah, bloody hell. And the games, what the details and stories. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous how far things have come.
So I love Sonic
Yeah.
Adventure 2. That's why I like Dreamcast. It was Sonic Adventure 2 all the way for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you have any favourite games?
Yeah. So, right. I guess there's two categories for me. There's favorite individual games, and then there's just favorite series. So, I've been a I've been a long time fan of Final Fantasy games. Yeah, like just the series themselves has been, I spent so much time in them, and I loved all of them, all the ones that I have played, even if some of them were maybe hacked versions where there was a lot of cheats involved, and so I just powered through a lot of things and didn't quite understand what was happening at the time. Didn't absorb the story that as much as I probably should have when I was younger, but
You just want to cheat.
Yeah, well, I'm just like, I don't quite get what's going on. Let's just get some more fights. That's the way to do it. But then, sort of, those that I have gone back and sort of replayed, like they've always been, and actually appreciating the story that is being told. It's always just been great. So it's probably up there. As for a single favorite game, without sounding too samey like it's the only things I've ever played, but the first Final Fantasy game that I actually played was number 8, and that has always had a solid place in my heart. Probably one of my all-time favorite games.
Isn't there like there's about 10 or 11 or something of them, isn't there? There's loads of them.
Oh, no, there's 15 all up. 15 in the main series.
Okay.
So yeah, there's two on MMOs. So there was 11 and 14. 16. There's 16 games because 16 was the last one that was released. How dare I forget?
You call yourself a fan.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, terrible. But yeah, so what was that? Yeah, 8 was my first introduction to the series, and I've gone back and played it multiple times over the years, and it's always just been. And every time I sort of went back, and I always picked up a little bit more on the story and aligned either to myself to certain characters or found myself maybe not identifying with them, but it's like just feeling more for certain characters anytime you play. And it was always just a cool story. I love uh, uh, the time travel sort of aspect of it, and some of the kooky behaviour that sort of they come up with. Yeah, it's just a really cool story. Yeah, so yeah, oh god, so many other series, like all the Metal Gear series, the Solid Snake. What a guy. Definite man crush.
He's you aspire to be, yeah.
Love. Hey.
He's who you inspire to be, yeah.
Oh jeez, I wish. It's just like the Witcher series, obviously another massive one.
Yeah.
I like my RPGs.
Yeah, definitely.
I love Destiny. The Destiny games, they're fantastic.
I don't really know those ones.
Not as. It's from the team that brought the original couple of Halos. And it's another sort of online game. Yeah, it's it's good and bad in a number of ways. But it's just one of those ones. Like I started playing it when it was first released in number 1, and then I just continued through with number 2, and yeah, it's just it's been an on and off guilty pleasure for a while. It's just good game, cool story. Yeah, it's just so many. It's hard to pull them down, but yeah, if I had to say a series, it's the Final Fantasy series, and individual games would have to be number 8.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I don't blame you. I know of those games, and I've played a couple. I just couldn't get into that one. But straight away, my favourite, immediately fell in love, more than anything, Dragon Age. And then soon after, Mass Effect, which is also made by BioWare. So
you went the other way.
Oh, oh yeah, I love them both. But I don't. So like you, I just cannot have a specific favourite. I love the series. The series is easy. I can go, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, but ask me a specific game. Oh, I can't. I love them all.
Yeah, no, very very much. Like, I always did appreciate the Dragon Age games, like for what they were, and I love the dark fantasy setting of it.
Yeah.
I regret to say that I just did not finish. I didn't get as into the last one, Inquisition, as much as I wanted to. I think at the time I just wasn't in the mindset to really go start to finish and get deep into it. The other two I definitely played multiple iterations of, but then Mass Effect, it was just the first 3 games, just Shepard was just such a cool story, such a great thing. Like it was just good fun. A little bit clunky when you look back at it, but good times.
It's so good. It's one of those games that even though they're years old, you can still play them over and over and over. They're just that good.
Now I've gone back with the what was the bundle that they released a little while ago?
Oh, well, the Mass Effect one.
Whatever it was, the Legendary Collection or something.
Yeah, the new edition one. They spruced it up, made it all pretty for the new generation.
Yeah, so definitely I picked that up on something, and then definitely started playing through it. But it is good to jump back into it, and it is one of those ones you're like, I remember this.
Yeah. They left out a couple of DLCs though. They didn't put it back in. I don't think it was popular. I was like, oh well. One of them was
okay.
One of them I played on the original DLC when it came out. It's basic. I can't remember what the DLC is called now. It's basically, it was a bit of a ball ache, to be honest. You just go into a ship and you just shoot as many people. You have to beat a high score, and you just shoot everyone that comes near you. That's the whole point of the whole DLC. And you've got to beat the highest scores, and you just, to me that was, I did it because it was there. I have to complete it.
Yeah, right.
But I didn't like it. But I was actually a little bit...
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I was a little bit glad they didn't put that in DLC, because I'd feel obligated to complete it, because I'm a bit of a completionist. If it's there, I want to complete it.
Yeah.
It's
I'm trying to remember what that one was now.
Yeah, but if you win, I did end up winning. If you win, you get the guy's house. So that was alright.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I think I might recall that one. Yeah, cool. Huh.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. Yeah. Do you have a favourite genre?
If I guess if my uh favorite games don't give it away, but yeah,
Yeah, you
fantasy
touched upon this
settings,
a little bit, yeah.
fantasies and RPGs are just
Yeah.
it's the bread and butter. Just I'm too into the escapism,
Yeah, I'm exactly the same as you, definitely, yeah.
the escapism and the power fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still play some shooters. I'm not a big PvP person. I don't like.
Yeah, same.
I will play it if it's there and I'm bored, but the
Yeah.
competitive side of it I couldn't care less about. Same with sport games, doesn't interest me whatsoever. If I wanted to play the sport, I'd just play the sport. I'm not going to play the virtual kind of the sport, but that's just me. Yeah, so no,
yeah.
definitely RPGs or just adventure games, anything like that is always a good bit of fun.
Oh yeah, I'm exactly the same as you. I'm not into sports or shooters either, so I get bored too easily.
Yeah, it has to be. There has to be some sort of story. I was the kind of person growing up. If my brother bought the Call of Duty game, I'd play the campaign, and he'd just be straight into the multiplayer. I'd jump into the multiplayer a little bit after I played the campaign, but that was it. that was what I'd always do.
Oh, I was guessing this is older brother.
Younger brother actually.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Because he would go and buy them. Yeah, he would go and buy them because he wanted to play. He wanted to just play the next COD, and I was like, yeah, okay, go for it. And then I would also play it, but I would play the DLC. Sorry, I would play the campaign, and then I would dabble in the multiplayer side of things.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I've done siblings usually do that. So I was saying to you earlier, my sibling and I, we used to do that, and I'm the oldest as well. So yeah. Oh, we've already touched on this. The next question was, what was your first console? Yeah, we've already touched on that. You said it was either a Game Boy or a PlayStation, wasn't it?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was probably the PlayStation.
I think they came out first.
I feel like
sure
I got the Game Boy later.
Yeah, PlayStation was definitely first.
I had a Game Boy. I had a Game Boy Pocket, which was the smaller version than the big chunky ones when that were first released. So yeah, I don't recall exactly, but yeah, I have a weird feeling that I had it in late. Jeez, now I'm just trying to think. Should Google it and just find out when PlayStation was first released. But yeah, it's probably both around the mid '90s kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, good times.
Yeah, I got the big purple chunky one. So I'd still got it somewhere.
Yeah, no.
I love my Game Boy.
I also am a collector. I've got most of my old consoles floating around somewhere. I do have my the original little PlayStation, Game Boy Pocket, but I'm sure it still works. But I'm missing the back case for the battery flap and that. So I don't like the chances of batteries hanging in there for very long.
No, yeah, especially when they wouldn't say rot, but they sort of leak all that stuff that comes out of batteries. Yeah, don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want. It's
No.
probably good that batteries haven't been sitting in there, but I'm not tempted. I'm not that tempted to spin it back up and see if it still works.
Yeah. So I still got the original. Was it not? Is it DSi? SDI? I can't remember. The first, I think it's like sort of a touch screen sort of.
Oh yeah, just the DS's.
The Nintendo one. Yeah. I've still got the original one of that. That's also big and chunky, but again, I don't care. They were great consoles. Well, I say console, they're great little games.
Yeah, no, they certainly were. One thing Nintendo does well is that innovation factor. They always come up with the cool ideas, and people are like, "Oh, it's pretty cool."
Yeah, and I've got their Switch now, so they've definitely come a long way. The Switch is really good.
Yeah, no, it's a great little console.
what's your favourite console? So out of the ones, so for you it'd be PlayStation or Game Boy. So do you have a favourite out of those two, or one you slightly like a bit better?
Well, I guess if this is current state, I guess I probably play PC more than I do consoles.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of them, I'll play PlayStation. Like I've got PlayStations, and I've always liked my PlayStations as opposed to branching down the Xbox path. But I'm just like, oh, also just PCs, like PC Master Race. You just go through and it's just like, I'll play the PlayStations and everything, and I'll appreciate it, but it's just too convenient to have with PC and just everything at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I've sort of switched to PC, but I've got a controller that links to your PC, so I'm still playing PlayStation games, everything via controller. I just don't want to play keyboard and mouse. So yeah. I'm playing through
some
PC.
Things it is hard.
Yeah, well, it's some of it I just don't like it. I just don't have to keep pressing WASD and all these. No, I don't want to. I want the controller.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I just prefer a controller in my hands rather than a keyboard, to be honest. So yeah.
No, that's fair.
Best of both worlds, really.
No, that's it. Yeah, I've definitely got a somewhere. Oh yeah, there we are. Got my PlayStation and one of my old PS4 controls that I'll hook up to my PC if I'm playing certain games. But yeah, usually it's keyboard mouse.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes I play RuneScape, and you have to use keyboard and mouse for things like RuneScape. I mean, I can't play a controller. Yeah. And League of Legends.
Yeah. Too much clicking. It'd be very hard to do that on a control.
Oh god! For experiment, I actually tried because there's someone. Someone made something where you can play League on controller. I thought, I'll give this a go. See what it's like. Nope, absolute crap. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's rubbish. But
I can imagine that it would have been a tricky time. You would have broken a controller trying to click through things so quickly.
I said go that way.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that is better keyboard and mouse. Which I don't mind games like that because it's mostly clicking. I'm fine with that. But no, I still prefer controller.
Yeah, fair enough.
So do you like games such as like board games?
Yeah, like I mentioned it earlier. Like I play D&D, so tabletop, things like that. I've played them for several years now. Have branched out with some board games here and there. Like with me and friends have sort of game nights rarely.
I wish I could do those.
Yeah, just very occasionally we'll play some board games or some or card games, whatever they might be. It's not nothing crazy and none of the nothing super intensive. A couple of my friends really like Settlers of Catan. I never really got that into it. But they absolutely die for that game. I'm like, okay, it's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's fine. But yeah, so there's definitely a couple other games out there that we'll play and we'll always appreciate when we do come together, but not too often, unfortunately.
Yeah, see, that sounds like that. Yeah, my brothers and my family used to do that when I was younger, but we stopped doing it. We don't get together and do it anymore. They were good times.
Yeah.
It's nice having that, but yeah.
Yeah,
people still
those
do
things. It's sometimes good for when those good. It's a good excuse for a catch up, or something to do when Christmas is getting a little bit boring. Just pull out some card games or something for people to play.
Yep, or the classic Monopoly, Twister. Oh, that was fun. When you see your drunk aunts and uncles trying to do Twister, that was funny. Seeing them getting all tangled up, I used to sit there and laugh. Oh dear.
Time goes on and you're like, oh no, I'm the drunk uncle and aunt now. making a Twitter myself on the Twister board.
Laying down, hand there, arse up in the. You got your uncle round there. Go, what are you doing? Oh dear. Fun times though.
Yep, fall down. Oh no, my hammy. Pull something in the wrong direction. Oh well.
Yeah, then your nan thinks she can get in. You're like, no, nan, sit this one out. Trust me, don't pull a hip again.
Yeah. Oh, you already had one hip replacement. Yeah, it doesn't mean you
don't want the other one, yeah. Oh no. Especially when nan gets drunk. So, what are you doing? You should be drinking, full stop.
Yeah.
Oh dear, fun times. Miss those days. Do you have a preference? Do you prefer board games, card games, consoles? Is there a preference, or just like them all the same? Not really fussed.
I guess I would have a preference of like console games or PC games, just because I probably play it more. I usually play games solo for the most part. Even though if I am on MMOs or online games, we'll match and play with other people, but it's nothing solid. Or regular. So as much as I try to play some games online with friends, they're not as dare I say dedicated to
not as into it,
games most nights. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that would be my preference, just because I play it more. Yeah.
Yeah. Completely agree with you. I mean, card games, everything, they're fun and they're great. But those sort of things you play together, you kind of have to play with other people. And if you don't really have, as you said, friends who are as into it as you, it's harder. So, yeah, PCs you could play with anyone or by yourself. They're great. Or consoles. I love them.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely. And like we mentioned earlier, we get spoiled by the graphics.
Oh yeah, just graphics,
storytelling,
and even the jeez, what am I trying to say? Like the cinematography of certain games these days is just next level. Like, I hear multiple people saying they've been saying for a while games is the next big arts media, and it's getting even bigger and
definitely
more prevalent in that. Film and TV and things, and I guess books can do things to a point, but games are this
more immersive. You can get yourself into it.
Yeah, it's this good middle ground between, say, a book adaptation to a film adaptation, where people are the books are always better. And it's well, yeah, because you've got more time to actually put the detail in. Whereas
more details,
film,
exactly.
You don't have that. And then video games are somewhere in the middle, where it might not be as in-depth as or descriptive as the book, but at the same time it's you can directly interact with it.
Exactly, the interaction, just the immersiveness and the interaction really hooks you in. And it's true what they say, that when you read a book, you go and watch a film based on that book, you're like, there's so much they've missed out. But if they made a film, they'd have to turn the film into a series, otherwise there's just so much they have to miss out. So unless it's a series, they're going to miss out a lot in the book. But as you said, games are a nice middle ground, because you might not have as much as the book, but you get to immerse with the characters and the storyline personally, which actually adds a nice little touch as well. So there's good, bad, and all that. Well, I wouldn't really say bad, but yeah. So do you still play games that non-console games, like card games, ball games? I think we touched on that a little bit. You only do it a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much. It will on occasion. Well, I guess. I'll play D&D, or I guess tabletops, usually three times a week, give or take.
Okay, so often.
Yeah, so I run one of my own games, and then I participate in a couple. So so it is good in that way. And again, it's just that sort of that immersiveness, roleplay aspect of things, that it's just just good, and I think I mentioned it earlier, just that it scratches that acting itch almost.
Yeah.
And do some funny voices, do some just shenanigans with friends in the end. Like I think I've only met of the maybe how many people am I actively playing online with that? Probably about 10 to 12 people all up that I'm currently playing in games with, and have some of them for years. Like we've been playing together online for years, and of them I've met 2 in purely by happenstance. I've physically met 2 of them in person.
Okay.
one because she was in Australia, like she was moving from way up north down south, and she just happened to be passing through here, and I'm like, oh, let me know, and we'll grab a coffee. And then someone else from a different game. Last year was over in Europe, and they're in Germany. I'm like, oh, we're going through Germany. He's like, oh, let me know, and we'll catch up for a coffee. And I'm like, okay, sure. So we've just met up randomly for a coffee, took some photos, and sent it to our group. And it was just it was just pure happenstance in that way. But it was like never physically or really even virtually met these people outside of talking to them for. Yeah, sometimes a couple of them for like a couple of years, and then you just sort of randomly meet up with them, and then a couple of the other guys that I've been playing with I just never met and probably won't ever meet unless something changes. But it's just cool in that way.
That's pretty cool though.
Good.
So,
yeah.
You sort of been talking to these people, playing with them, and then you meet them maybe once, but meet them and meet up and play with them in person. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's a cool experience. Like you know a bit about these people, but you don't know much about them, and it's like, you develop a image in your head as to how they look like, and then you physically meet them, and you're like, I was way off the mark. Like,
what I picture was someone completely different.
Yeah, it's like I expected you 3 feet taller. I don't know why I thought you were only up to my knees. But yeah, like whatever. Yeah, it's just funny in that way. So
sometimes it's when we just hear people, so the voices don't always match what you picture, but then you see them. Yeah, it's like, oh, actually, the voice still kind of matches them. It's a bit weird. But yeah. Yeah, no. So you do. You said you hold events sometimes, or gaming nights as well.
I run on my Tuesday game. I run a D&D game, so there's 4 of us, 3 players and myself running the game. And we've been playing together for I want to say around pandemic time, so probably around 2024. So it's been the better part of 4 years, I would have to guess.
Oh, okay.
3 or 4 years we've probably been playing together.
Well, that's not a bad time.
Yeah. So, and like obviously due to pandemic things, the tabletop scene kind of exploded.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, just so many more people got into it because couldn't leave their home, and it was just some way to get out and
do something.
Do something. Yeah, interact, some human interaction in some capacity. So yeah,
can understand that. So you do a tabletop version of what past 2 years I've been holding big yearly meetups for. Do you know Pokemon Go?
Oh yeah,
the mobile Go. Yeah. Well, I started doing that. I think about when the Campfire app came out. I started that was about 2-3 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, I started putting for our local town. I started putting or organising meetups there it was at first it's for the yearly one. Now this year they've been asking me to do that sort of weekly and monthly ones, or at least more regularly. And more people have been showing up, and from neighbouring towns as well, and they're coming over. Sometimes we get around 40 to 70, and I'm going, where are you lot from? And they tell me, and I'm like, damn. I was like, wow. And I was like, yeah, we go around and because where I live, sometimes we get either we break off into separate groups, or we go around one big group, and people look at us going, "Why is everyone looking down their phones? What are they all doing?" It's like, so,
Pokemon, it's Pokemon. We're doing Pokemon here. And like, oh, okay. They're like, oh, this we're familiar with this now. It's been happening for the past couple of years. Yeah, we understand what this is.
Yeah, people used to come online because I'm on the groups, on social media. They have groups for our local towns and cities and where we live.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, people used to go. It made me laugh because people used to put messages up saying there was a load of people on their phones. What are they doing?
That was me.
Yeah, there's a couple of things going on, but I think they are used to it because no one says anything anymore. So they're like, "Oh, it's them."
There you go.
But it's good because more and more people getting out, and we're getting wider. Like you're saying, more people joining, and we're getting a wider age range. We've had grandparents show up. We've had people in their 50s, 60s, 40s, all sorts show up. It's like, oh wow, hello.
Yeah, jeez.
It's good to see. So you already know what the game's about, but I just put a brief down about the game. So Dragon Age is a fantasy role-playing game created by the company BioWare. The first game was released in November 2009. There are 3 games, or 3.5 if you include Awakening. So I don't know if you know about that bit. But it says soon 4, with the newest game soon to be released. The first game is Dragon Age Origins. Origins has an expansion called Dragon Age Awakening. The Awakening from what I read was originally going to be the second game, but ended up becoming a massive DLC for Origins instead. That's why Awakening is so big. It was originally the second game apparently. It's a standalone game because of how big it is and how in depth it is. And it's big enough to be its own small game, hence why I said 3.5 games. The second game is Dragon Age 2, which was originally going to be called Dragon Age Exodus, but they decided to call it 2 because they thought, from what I read, apparently BioWare thought that calling it Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Exodus might confuse some people, and they wouldn't know because of Awakening. I think because the second game being called Awakening and suddenly we have Exodus, it might confuse some people, so they just said let's call it 2. The third game, as you know, is Dragon Age Inquisition, and the fourth game, which they said would be released this year, would be released this year. I wish it was today. Which they said would be released this year unless it gets pushed back, is called Veilguard, but it was originally called Red Wolf. But we found out recently that they've now changed it to Veilguard. But that's just a quick brief of Dragon Age, like small points. But yeah, like I said, you've said you've played them up until Inquisition. Did you get I know you didn't finish Inquisition, but did you get halfway through or partially, or you remember?
I recall some story beats that I got up to, but in terms of how far through the actual game, I don't have a clue off the top of my head.
Okay.
I remember there was one point. I remember playing through, and there was at some point I'm like, oh, is this leading up to like some big boss battle or something? And I just I think when you kick off the game, like you're in almost like a little farmstead thing where it's your initial base, and then something happens at some point and you go off into the mountains and you find like a massive keep that was from the previous Inquisition. And I remember getting up to there and doing some stuff there, but after that I have no recollection. So I'm like, I know I got up to that point in the game. I have no idea because it took a while, unless I always do a lot of the side content as well. So unless it just took me forever to get there, and I'm like, oh my god, this is just taking forever.
What? And you were still in Haven? You didn't leave Haven?
No, I got up to the keep and running around the main keep and some of the other locations and moving around, but I don't recall what happened in the story after that, honestly. It's been a long time since I played that.
Do you remember? Did your keep get? So I don't know. I don't want to give too much away because I don't know if you want to get back into it. Did anything big happen at your keep? Did you have to move keep again, or were you in a keep or were you in something else? See, I'm going to give too much away. I don't want to say anything.
I remember.
You were
I remember
still in the snowy mountains. You never left the snowy mountains.
Yeah, I remember getting to there. But I don't recall if there was like a one of the rifts or whatever opens up in there or anything happened after that. I honestly don't. It's been like when was Inquisition released?
It's not.
Did you say it was
too many?
29? Was it?
Oh no, that was the first.
2019?
No, 2009 was the first game. Inquisition was only a few years ago. I can't remember that date. But if you're still in the Snowy Mountains, which is Haven, you're still at the beginning of the game. That's the beginning of the game.
No.
You didn't even get
no. It would have been
I'm trying to think what the halfway bit would be. I'm going to give too much of the game away because I don't. If you plan to ever go back to it, I don't want to give anything away and say too much. So
I would definitely go through, and I do need to play because the backlog of games that I have not finished is ever growing.
Yeah.
And it is one of those ones. Where it's like I should go through and play it because knowing me, I will want to pick up Veilguard.
I can't wait for that. So I've played every single game so many times. I've lost count how many times I've played them all. It's just, and same as you, I have to do all the side quests. I have to. Actually, there's a couple I don't because I don't like them, but it's very rare that I won't do a side quest. Like in Inquisition, the only side quest I do not complete is killing all the dragons. I just don't want to do it. That's the only side quest I won't complete. Yeah. I always leave as many dragons alive as possible, but apart from that, I'll do everything else. I just don't want to kill all the dragons. I only kill the ones they make me kill. Right. I was like, I don't want to go around killing dragons. I know it's Dragon Age, but I don't care.
Yeah. So, I still remember from the first game. What was the name? Flemeth?
She's iconic.
Witch, and then you turn into the dragon, and then you just like shit. You're like, I can take her, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done this.
She's a pretty strong one. But I don't mind a corrupted dragon. I'll take that one down. I mean, sorry, mate, but you're basically a massive darkspawn. Nah, I'm fine. I'll take you on. But
yeah, well, that was because that's the final. That's like one of the final bosses in the original game. I'm pretty sure. Like that was the bringer of the blight in the first place.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that fight. That was cool. Yeah.
So that shows how good the storytelling is and how good the game is. It's been a long while since I've played these games as well. But
yeah, it's slowly coming back to me. I remember playing through that.
Oh yeah.
That was good times.
So how did you find 2? So with 2. There's like Awakening, you can tell that there were some quick cuts. Like you could tell some of it wasn't completely finished in Awakening. But I loved 2.
There was a few time skips. I remember it got a bit of a bad rap. Sometimes people didn't like it. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, same.
I think I slightly preferred the more action combat to it as opposed to the stop start and you just sort of click go and it just sort of goes through and does some stuff. Because I was playing on PlayStation, I think I didn't I didn't really get the pause, stop and start stuff and give directions and then off the tactical viewing of stuff, so I didn't really care too much about that. I preferred it as more of just an action and in your face action game. And I think Inquisition sort of went in a midpoint between the first game and the second game. They kind of, you could do a little bit of the actiony side as well as the tactic side, so it was kind of cool in that way. Two. I'm trying to recall all the story points in 2 now, but I do remember, like, I did appreciate it. Like I did enjoy it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I can recall the beginning of that game vividly, but I can't. Probably because I played it so many times. But then I Yeah, I don't think I got all the different like. I'm pretty sure there's different endings. I can't
There is,
recall
yeah.
how it
Well, sort of.
finished.
Mm.
Like I know it's the Canary. I think they were one of the more of the bigger antagonists in number two.
Yeah, it's at the end of it's the end of, so we would say chapter 2. It's halfway through the game. They come in big time. They're big point in the game. Halfway through at the end of that one.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember I remember bits and pieces of it, but that's probably one I should go back and play properly again, because yeah, it's been well, that and actually finish Inquisition.
Fresh that one first, yeah. But there was a lot of complaints that people didn't like how they reused the maps and didn't go anywhere else. I didn't mind the reuse of maps. I didn't care we had to keep going back because we had to stay in Kirkwall anyway. So I was fine.
It was all set. It was mainly set in the walled city anyway. So
exactly.
It kind of made sense.
It did. It was absolutely fine. The only thing I didn't like is after each chapter, the maps reset, and for me again, like a typical completionist, I have to unlock the entire map each time. I don't want, because when you walk around a map and it's nothing there until you go there and then it unlocks. I didn't like that each chapter I had to go around and unlock the map each time. Look, I went here in chapter 1, I've unlocked it, leave it unlocked. The maps are clearly reused. I don't care they're reused. It doesn't bother me at all. So, like I said, it makes sense as well, because if you're staying in Kirkwall, you're not going to go anywhere else, are you? So I didn't care the maps were reused. The story was still good. The characters were good. So a little detail like having a maps reused, stay in the same place, meant nothing to me. I didn't care. I loved the game. The game itself was great. And there's been so many people not happy with it. And you could see some bits where it didn't feel rushed, per se, but there were a couple bits where it does kind of feel like they needed more time but didn't get it. But Awakening, near the end, you can tell it was blatant where they just cut the game short and went, we've got to stop here. That I didn't like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was near the end where I can't remember her name now. There's you can recruit a dwarf. Oh, I can't remember her name now. I'm not going to remember it. I'm bad on names as it is. But yeah, you can recruit a dwarf, and when she joins, if you don't do it I've only ever managed to do it properly once, but you can make her a warden. But if you don't do it precisely exactly how, it messes up, and you never get to make her a warden, because the game literally, it just cuts. It's like, right, you didn't do it the right order. Now this is the end of the game. It's like, you have to be very careful how you play it as well. Well, not very careful, but a bit more. You could tell they had to quickly cut and finish there. It's like, I wish you had more time, but I still liked it. It is a great DLC. It is a great game. But yeah, so so when you can tell that it didn't get as much time as the developers wanted, but it is still really good. So I can't really fault them. I love them all. They're brilliant. And Inquisition's the same. I think out of all of them, it's the biggest out of all three. I'm so looking forward to Valgard. I'm trying so hard to not accidentally come across any spoilers, because I don't want to know anything about it. I want to play it completely blind, completely fresh. So I don't want to know anything.
Fair enough.
So I'm guessing, are you going to? Oh, you said you're tempted to give Valgard a go.
I'll definitely be tempted to pick it up. But having not finished Inquisition and knowing that. What's he? I can't remember his name, but I did I heard the probably not a spoiler because it came out probably a couple of years after that I saw it. But it's whatever the elf guy,
Solus.
elf mage was. Solus, that's his name.
Yep.
Yeah, he was. It's like, hey, this whole thing about this Dreadwolf and whatnot. It's like, yeah, that's him, and I'm just like, oh, cool. I don't know what that's about. Because it's probably referenced in the game somehow or somewhere, and it's like, sure, that makes sense.
Yes,
I remember Reddit blew up at the time. Like,
yeah, there's probably a lot of things you won't understand, or it will spoil it for you if Inquisition explains everything to you, especially near the end. Oh no, it's a DLC. If you get the DLC, that explains a lot more. Yeah, well, it explains it in the main game, but there's a DLC that gives you the rest of the details, and Veilguard should complete the story. So I'm not going to say anything because you haven't played it yet. But if you jump into Veilguard without Inquisition, there's a lot of stuff you'll miss. So I bet. You kind of need the DLCs as well. That's the problem, to get the full story. But brilliant game. Yeah, Inquisition's great, and it is about Solus. That's why it was called Dreadwolf, but they've changed to Veilguard because again, I don't. Oh, well, you know what the Veil is anyway. But
I do. I'm going through mentally all the lore that I remember in my head. And because that's where magic comes from, isn't it? Like they pull from the veil or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then, or those that can use magic are more susceptible to the demons or whatever. They're on the other side of the veil.
The fade,
and things like that. Fade. Yeah, that's it. So like it's coming back to me the more we're talking about it. Sort of scrounging through the memory banks. I'm like, all right, pull out all the Dragon Age knowledge that you've got.
Dragon Age
so it's definitely igniting a drive to jump in and play him again. But I know sometimes I'll have to curb my completionist tendencies to just be like, all right, just focus on the story, just power level a little bit, and just get through it.
Like I said, I can't really say much without giving it away because you're right. It is the Solus does have a big part to play in it. So I'm not gonna say anything else because I literally can't say anything else without giving anything away. I don't want to spoil it. So he does have a big part to play, but you have to play it to find out because I don't want to spoil anything. So
no, thank you very much for that.
But if you do play Veilguard, like I said, I strongly suggest playing Inquisition because it'll fill in all the gaps. And Veilguard it will most likely tell you a lot about what you would learn in Inquisition anyway, but it won't tell you everything. It's too much detail. You have to play Inquisition to even if go mine. But I just can't wait for that to come out. I've been psyched when I heard about it a couple of months ago. I was like, yay! I've been rigorously looking on Steam, getting ready to pre-buy it. I'm just waiting for it to come up. It's on my wish list. I'm like, come on, just let me buy it. Let me pre-order.
It doesn't have an actual release date yet. Just coming
No, not yet. No, it's on my wish list. As soon as it comes up, I want to click on it. I was like, come on. Is there any games you're looking forward to coming out? Any releases?
I honestly haven't been keeping that up to date on what is and isn't coming out in recent times. The Dawn Trail for 14, Final Fantasy 14 was released, so that was the only thing that I was really sort of keeping on my radar, and it's out now, so I'm like, sweet, I'm good. good for the next little while at least. So nothing else is really jumping to mind. What is on my wish list? What am I looking at?
You have a wish list on Steam as well?
Yeah, there's not many on it.
Absolutely, I'm the same as you. Literally, I've just got Veilguard. That's it. That's all I'm looking forward to. I've got nothing else on my wish list. Well, actually, the new Mass Effect, when that comes out, that'll be straight on my wish list as well.
Is there a new Mass Effect coming out?
Yeah. After Andromeda, they're currently, I don't know whereabouts they're making it. I think they're near the end. I'm hoping they're near the end, but they do have a 5th coming out. And they've teased it.
5.
Yeah, they've teased it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Must have completely missed that one. Okay. Oh, it's released on N7 Day.
Yeah. There was hype and disappointment because people were saying how they barely showed anything, but they gave little hints. So but they can't give too much away, and it's N7 Day. They have to do something on N7 Day. That's Mass Effect Day.
Yeah.
So they have to give something. It's just a little something for the fans. That's all.
Yeah, watching that trailer now.
So yeah, that came out a while back.
Yeah.
That was last year, I think. Last year, was it? Yeah, it wasn't the year before. It was
2023.
Yeah, it was last year. Yeah, that'll be November last year.
Yeah, that one completely flew under my radar.
Yeah.
No, but now I know it's there. Probably should go back and actually play Andromeda as well.
Oh yeah.
That's one that I think I just bypassed on. I think I have it, and I played a little bit of it, and then I think I just went on to other things. It was so bad. Like, I remember there was a few games like that I've just picked up, played. I'm like, yeah, this is good. And I'll just play through. This is fun. And then just something else new and shiny comes along. I'm like,
This is new, yeah.
Yeah, something else new and shiny. I should go back to that other thing. It's like, this one's fine.
Oh, so this is where I'm glad where I get really fixated. If I really like a game, and there's not many games I like as much as Mass Effect and Dragon Age, and when I get really fixated, it's easy for me to stay in that game. Every other game can wait. I don't care. This is my baby. This comes first. You come later.
Yep.
So, but if I'm not into it, I easily get distracted and go on something else. I've still never completed Skyrim. I've never completed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I've never completed. What's it called? They've made a new series on it recently. I can't remember what it's called now. You have like a on your wrist. It's like a something boy. What's it called?
Fallout.
That's it, Fallout. Yeah, I was trying to remember all the stuff about the game. It's been a while now. I've never completed that because I just keep getting distracted. But they're not my favourite games, so.
I guess those are notoriously distracting games. Like, you'll just walk and it's like, something over here. Oh, here's a cave. Never get around to actually finishing them. I was like, what was my main story again?
Yeah, exactly. Especially Inquisition. There's so many things. The world is bigger. There's a lot more side quests and little things to do, so it keeps you going for a while. So, but yeah, if you've got free time, it'll keep you busy.
Yeah, it certainly will. That's among all the other games, or at least my live service games that I have to play.
Yeah, thank you for joining me and coming on and everything. Like I said, for my first podcast, this has been quite fun. I hope you've enjoyed it.
No, yeah, good experience.
Yeah, so I've done interviews before, so I've done something similar, but I've never done a podcast. I've just watched them, so this has been quite good actually. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, and for being my first guest.
No, not a problem. Happy to come back anytime.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you're interested, yeah, I'd have you back if you're interested in it. Anyway, so I'll let you go because I know you said you've got things to do. But yeah, sorry for the bit of a glitch at the beginning. Hopefully, that won't happen again. God, always right when I freaking need it. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming along, and hopefully, we might see or talk again in future.
Sounds good. Been a pleasure.
Yeah, and good talking to you as well.
Alright, I'll see you around.
Yeah, see you. Right, bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, so that's the end of the podcast, and yeah, there was some teething and a couple of problems had through it, which might have to see if I can edit around or anything. At the beginning I had a few issues with the camera just wasn't working, it wasn't recording. I don't know if it was what we were using, or it could be maybe because we're based in two different countries. Brendan's in Australia and I'm in the UK. Every now and then I saw our cameras were going off and just going wrong, and sound was getting out of place and everything else. So it happens. So yeah, there's most likely going to be some cuts or things going wrong. But as I said, it happens. But all in all, it was nice to talk to Brendan. It was good. It was nice to talk to. Whether we do more in the future, he said he's up for doing some more podcasts in the future, which I'm definitely up for. So we'll see if anything goes on. And as I said at the beginning, I am planning, well, hopefully it would be nice if we can do other subjects as well. So at the moment it's we've got the gaming one. I would like to do the paranormal one and tattoo one. So I've got a couple people interested, so we'll see if we can get that going and hopefully get rid of these issues and problems as we go, hopefully. But yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a good talk. It was nice talking to Brendan, and you can guess he's a gamer as well. And yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Hopefully he did, and see if we get any more with Brendan and or other people in future. Maybe join the podcast, talk about more games, more subjects, and just see how it goes. So yeah, if you've been watching, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!